So for today, we will be discussing activity number 5, community health facilities and their functions. So at the end of this activity, you are all expected to, number 1, describe the organizational structure of the ILHC, CHO, MHO, and RHU. Next, understand the rationale and goal behind primary health care. Explain the operation and function of the ILHC, CHO, MHO, as well as the RHU, and describe the role of pharmacist in the community health setting. Now, let's answer the questions in the activity. But before that, um, okay, sige. So we have illustrate the organizational chart of the pre-devolution health system in the Philippines. And then we'll have the post-devolution health system also later. And later na lang yung differences ng dalawa. So this is the organizational chart, pre-devolution health system. This was before 1991. So as you can see on the top part, we have the Department of Health. And then under the Department of Health, we have three organizations or three um, key areas. We have the central office on the national level. We have regional health offices also for the regional level, and we have special and attached agencies. Under the regional health offices, we have the provincial health offices, the district city health offices, rural health units, and the barangay health stations. Now, in this case, we have here to explain the different offices or agencies in the organizational chart pre-devolution era. For the national level, we have the Department of Health. So for the Department of Health, they are the central authority responsible uh, for policy making, planning, regulation, and coordination of all health activities nationwide. So they are the top. So they are the topmost agency or office that oversee everything. Now we have the regional level. We have the regional health offices. They implement the Department of Health programs in their regions. So they supervise provincial as well as city health offices with all the programs being implemented in those areas, and they ensure alignment with the national health goals. Now, under the regional level, we have the provincial level, wherein we have the provincial health office. So, this office is the one coordinating and monitoring municipal and city health services. They also oversee district hospitals as well as rural health units. Now we have city or municipal level. We have the city or the municipal health offices. Now they directly manage local health programs. They provide preventive, promotive, and basic curative services. Now, in the community level, we have the RHU or the rural health units and barangay health stations. So, what they are doing is they deliver primary healthcare services. They are the first point of contact between the community and the health system. Now, we have special or attached agencies like San Lazaro Hospital. in Manila, the Philippine Heart Center, National Kidney Institute, among others. They provide specialized medical services, training, as well as research. So these are the main offices pre-devolution era. Now, moving on, let's have the organizational chart post-devolution health system in the Philippines. This is after 1991. So as you can see, it is actually almost the same. We still have the Department of Health on top. We have on the national level, we have the central office. We also have regional health offices. Under the regional health offices, we have still the PHO, the district city or health offices, RHUs, and barangay health stations. And at the same time, we still have the special and attached agencies. Now, let us compare the pre-devolution health system and the post-devolution health system. For the main authority, pre-devolution, it is centralized. So the Department of Health directly manage everything, all health services nationwide. Um, After that, post-devolution, after 1991, it was decentralized. So, uh, the delivery of services was taken over by the local government units. So it may be the provinces, the cities, or the municipalities. For decision making, pre-devolution, DOH made all major decisions, including the allocation of funds or the budget, staffing, as well as uh, the programs. However, post-devolution health system is baliktad. So it's bottom up, meaning it is the responsibility now of the local government unit to plan, to allocate budget, and to implement different health programs based on their local needs. Now, for funding sources, pre-devolution health system, it is the national government that funds every program through the Department of Health. This time, post-devolution health system, it is now shared. So, the local government units fund the local health services, while the Department of Health gives technical assistance, policies, and special projects. Now, moving on, another key area for health personnel control. It is still the responsibility of the Department of Health to hire, to deploy, or to manage all health workers. That was pre-devolution health system. However, after 1991, health workers are now under the local government unit. So they are the ones na nag-hire and nagmamanage uh, ng mga hina-hire na personnel. So, pre-devolution health systems objective is to have uniform implementation of national health programs. Kaya top down yung implementation ng mga programs, and all the decisions were made by the topmost agency, and that is the Department of Health. However, post-devolution has done localization, meaning the programs being implemented are dependent on the needs of the specific community. So, in terms of the organizational flow chart for pre and post devolution, it is still the Department of Health that is on the top. Uh, Even in the post-devolution health system, the DOH is still the national policy maker. So for the regional level, the regional health offices were supervised by the Department of Health pre-devolution. Pagdating sa post-devolution, these regional DOH centers provide technical and supervisory support only. For the provincial level, uh, still this office or these offices were directly under the DOH. Now, nowadays, the provincial health offices are under the provincial government. Because remember, in the post-devolution health system, everything was localized. And then for city or municipal level, the city health offices or municipal health offices were under the Department of Health. um, Post-devolution, under na siya ngayon sa city or sa municipal government. Like, for example, sa mayor's office na siya. Now, sa community level, we have RHUs and yung mga barangay health na mga services are under the DOH. But post-devolution, these units or offices are under the local government unit. But the DOH still gives technical support. However, for special hospitals that were directly managed by Department of Health pre-devolution health system, pagdating sa post-devolution, na-retain pa rin ng DOH yung control over the national and mga specialty hospitals natin. So to summarize, before pre-devolution health system, it was centralized under the Department of Health. So all the programs being implemented were uniform and the control is nationwide. So it was controlled by the DOH. Thus, all employees or all health workers were under the DOH also. So they did all the planning and the budgeting. So we have the single line of authority, pre-devolution health system. Now, for post-devolution, that's what we are doing until now. The the system was decentralized. Thus, the programs are under the local government units. So the workers or the employees are also employees of the LGU. So they did the planning as well as the budgeting for the different health programs, but they are still in under the guidance of DOH. So we have multiple lines for our authority. Still, the Department of Health is our policy maker, while the local government units are the ones who are implementing this program. So moving on, uh, third question, we have enumerate and briefly discuss the three major goals for the community health that the Philippine Health Agenda aspires for. So when you say the Philippine Health Agenda, uh, this one guided or guides the community health efforts during those time, that's 2017 to 2022, and they aspired for three major goals as their core vision for achieving the universal health care. So these goals are focused on health outcomes, financial protection, and the quality of the health system. Again, we have three major goals here. Number one, better health outcomes with no major disparity. So this goal is centered on improving the overall health and well-being of the Filipino population while actively working to eliminate inequities between different population groups. So this goal emphasizes on or it emphasizes a focus on attaining targets related to the country's triple burden of disease. So pag sinabing triple burden of disease, we are talking about communicable, non-communicable, and diseases of rapid urbanization and industrialization. So for community health, this means strengthening primary care and health promotion to reduce preventable illnesses and deaths, especially for vulnerable groups like the poor, the mothers, as well as the children. So the aim is actually to ensure that better health is not just for the wealthy or for the rich, but for all Filipinos, regardless of their socio-economic status or location. Now, secondly, we have financial risk protection for all, especially the poor. So the goal is to protect all Filipinos, particularly those who are in the marginalized sector from catastrophic cost of healthcare. So achieving this is primarily driven by expanding and strengthening the National Health Insurance Program or our PhilHealth. For the community, this means ensuring that all citizens are covered by insurance and can access necessary health services and medicines without being forced into poverty by out-of-the-pocket expenses. So the goal promotes a system where financial burdens do not prevent access to healthcare. Okay? And then lastly, a responsive health system. So this goal focuses on making the entire Philippine health system galing sa community clinics, papuntang mga hospitals. Ang goal is to make everything respectful, people-centered, and empowering. So, responsiveness is about the quality of care and patient experience. So, for community health, this means i-improve yung accessibility of local health services, i-ensure na lahat ng patients are being respected regardless of the socioeconomic status, and that all patients' privacy is protected also. And then, dapat yung services are delivered in a timely, dignified, and satisfactory manner. So, it involves addressing issues like yung problem sa facilities, yung mga long queues sa mga public na mga health facilities natin, and it aims to address also problem with the lack of transparency to build a system that values and empower its people. Okay? So again, that's the three major goals for the community health that the Philippine Health Agenda aspired. And this was 2017 to 2022. So number four, briefly discuss the operation and function of the following in the implementation of health programs and or services in the community. So number one, we have the Department of Health Central Office. Um, yung sa DOH natin, the central office, ito yung mga operations and functions nila. Number one, policy and standard setting. So, ang ginagawa nila, they develop or gumagawa sila ng national health na mga policies ang mga technical standards, guidelines, and even operational manual sa lahat ng programs. Okay? So, example, maternal and child health, yung sa immunization, sila yung gumagawa ng, again, policy and standards. So, yung mga ginagawa nila should be followed by the local government units. So, aside from that, we have regulation and quality assurance. So, the central office is our overall regulator of all health goods and services. So, that is through the Food and Drug Administration or the FDA or an attached agency. Ang ginagawa nila, they give licenses to hospitals and health facilities para ma-ensure that ano, ang nabibigay na service is of good quality. Okay, sa community. Now we have capacity building and technical assistance. So the central office or the DOH central office is our enabler. Ang ginagawa, they are the ones who provide financial aid, technical assistance to the local government units and all the regional offices para matulungan itong mga units or offices na ito na ma-manage yung na-devolve na health services effectively. And at the same time, maging successful yung implementation of the different health programs. So kasama doon yung pag-train ng mga health workers. Now, number four, we have specific services and program administration. So yung central office of the DOH, they manage directly manage highly specialized national hospitals and they administer specific high impact national programs na nagre-require ng central coordination. Like kapag ka nagsa-surveillance sila for a national disease, o kaya yung sa mga vaccines na centralized yung procurement and distribution. Now we have overseeing the UHC integration or the universal healthcare. So we have the, 'di ba, under the Universal Healthcare Act, yung DOH Central Office is our lead agency na responsible for integrating local health systems into yung sa baba, like province-wide or city-wide health systems. So, they provide necessary guidance and funding mechanisms para ma-achieve yun. Okay? So, ano ba yung role or potential roles of pharmacist doon sa DOH Central Office? So, yung mga pharmacist within the DOH Central Office are typically located in bureaus or in divisions like the PD, the Pharmaceutical Division, or pwede din natin silang makita sa DPCB or the Disease Prevention and Control Bureau. Or pwede din natin silang makita sa Health Facility Development Bureau. So, ang ginagawa, they perform high-level, strategic as well as regulatory roles. So, isa-isahin natin. Number one, we have policy formulation. So, yung mga pharmacist na nasa central office, kasama sila doon sa nagde-develop ng national drug policies para sa rational drug use, para sa pag-promote ng generics, or uh, yung yung essential medicine list natin. So, they draft guidelines for the selection, procurement, and management of health commodities ng national programs. Now, secondly, we have regulatory oversight. So, yung mga pharmacists na nasa central office ng DOH work with the FDA para ma-ensure natin na quality, safety, and effective yung mga gamot and health products that are being consumed by the public. So, including yung mga ginagamit for national health programs. So next is program management. Yung mga pharmacist natin sa central office, they serve as logistics and commodity specialists within specific public health programs like yung sa National TB Control Program natin para ma-identify yung needs and then ma-manage yung national supply chain and as well as ma-monitor yung correct use of medicines used in different national programs. Now we have health human resource. Yung mga pharmacists in the central office develop competency standards. Sila din yung gumagawa ng mga training modules and specialization pathways for clinical, public health, and hospital pharmacists para ma-align siya with the goals of the universal healthcare. And then lastly, they do drug price monitoring. So, minomonitor and nire-regulate yung mga prices ng mga medicines para ma-ensure na affordable yung mga na-access ng community na mga essential medicine. Okay? So yan yung mga potential roles or roles na talaga ginagawa na talaga ng mga pharmacist in the central office. Now how about for the Center for Health Development or CHD? So, 'di ba dito kayo nagkaroon ng internship yung sa regional na office natin. Okay? Or ano yun siya? Ang dating tawag for Central for Health Development is the DOH Regional Office. They are actually the implementing arm of the central office doon sa region. So, sila yung nagli-link between the national health policies and yung pag-execute sa province, sa city, or sa municipal levels. Okay? So, ano yung functions or role ng Center for Health Development? Sila yung responsible para mag-guide and ma-facilitate yung integration of the local health systems into the mandated province-wide or city-wide healthcare provider networks under the Universal Healthcare Act. So, another thing, the CHD gives technical guidance or supervision as well as training for capacity building and logistical support sa mga provincial, city, or municipal health offices, as well as sa mga facilities like yung mga RHUs and hospitals to improve or to successfully implement the different national health programs. Okay? And thirdly, we have disease surveillance and emergency response. So ito yung regional hub natin for disease surveillance. They monitor disease trends, manage outbreaks, and coordinate the health sector response during disasters and emergencies sa region. So they directly manage also the yung mga DOH retained hospitals na nasa region. So ini-ensure na yung mga facilities na ito adhere to the national standards, and these facilities will act as referral centers. Now, ano naman yung goal ng pharmacist na nasa Center for Health Development? Nasa ano yan sila, technical or regulatory divisions to ensure that quality ng mga medicine yung nadidistribute as well as yung sa supply chain. So first, yung mga pharmacists natin sa CHD are our regional pharmaceutical management specialist. Sila yung nagli-lead sa regional logistics and supply chain sa lahat ng DOH procured medicines, vaccines, and commodities. Nakita niyo naman ito during internship. So, yung activity nila involves determination of the needs. So, that's forecasting. And then, uh, they also do inventory management. And they coordinate delivery to the local government units and yung mga DOH retained hospitals para ma-prevent yung stock out sa community level. Now, aside from that, we have regulatory compliance and quality assurance. So, yung mga pharmacists na nasa CHD assist in the monitoring and para ma-enforce yung drug regulatory policies for local pharmacies. And that includes the RHU pharmacies also. And as well as yung mga pharmaceutical facilities na nasa region, kung anong region man yon, to ensure that they deliver safety, effective, and quality medicines to the community. Next, pharmacists in the CHD also do rational drug use promotion. So sila yung nagde-develop or nagli-lead sa mga training programs and yung sa mga RDU committees or Rational Drug Use Committees sa regional na level. Tapos yung tina-target nila yung mga LGU health workers during training para ma-promote ang prescribing, dispensing, and patient use of medicines. And they heavily focus doon sa issues like antimicrobial stewardship. Now, we have technical assistance to HCPNs. So, yung mga CHD pharmacists natin, they provide technical input to the special health fund management. They give advice on the optimal medicine procurement strategies and formulary development sa entire province or city network para ma-ensure na merong better financial risk protection para sa patients. Okay? So number three, we have provincial DOH office. They are the direct field extension of the CHD and the DOH central office this time at the provincial level. So ano ito? They are acting as liaison or technical resource or or monitoring arm ng national government doon sa province. So ano yung roles or functions nila? Again, we have liaison and policy advocacy. So parang naging DOH representative sila sa provincial governor or sa provincial health board. Uh, they are advocates for the adoption and local implementation of the different national health policies. Okay? And yung mga provisions sa Universal Healthcare Act. And then, they provide technical assistance or hands-on technical support doon sa provincial health office or sa mga municipal or city health offices and mga devolved hospitals. So, yung activity nila in providing technical assistance includes developing their local investment plans for health or yung mga annual operational plans. They also monitor and do surveillance, especially on the performance of the province-wide health system and its component local government units against the national health targets. So, ano yan siya? Ang ating provincial DOH offices are acting as local hub for disease surveillance and they provide initial outbreak reporting if ever meron. And then we have logistics management. They oversee the distribution of the DOH procured national commodities like the vaccines or yung mga specialized program medicines papunta doon sa mga PHO or provincial health offices and sa mga RHUs. Okay? To ensure that ano, tama yung delivery and mga inventory reports. And then lastly, UHC implementation support. So it's a very important na office na nag-facilitate sa integration of the local health system doon sa functional healthcare provider network as mandated by the Universal Healthcare Act. Okay? So how about naman yung roles or potential roles of the pharmacist na nasa provincial DOH office? Number one, we have here supply chain and logistics management. So yung mga pharmacists na nandyan sa provincial offices directly monitors the inventory, proper storage, and distribution of all DOH provided medicines and health commodities to the provincial health office down to the RHUs. Next, we have rational drug use monitoring. So, they work hand in hand with the provincial health office, as well as with the RHU or the local health facilities para ma-monitor yung prescription and dispensing practices para ma-promote yung rational drug use. Okay? So, they analyze utilization data galing sa RHUs para ma-identify and ma-address yung issues like underdosing or over-prescribing, which are very critical for effective public health programs. So next, we have technical resource for local formulary. Yung mga pharmacists na nasa provincial DOH offices assist the provincial health board and the provincial health office para ma-develop and ma-update yung provincial essential medicine list or yung tinatawag natin na local formulary. So para ma-standardize yung treatment protocols sa province and ma-ensure that the most cost-effective and appropriate drugs are procured by the local government units. And then lastly, we have capacity building. So pharmacists provide training and coaching sa mga LGU staff, especially yung mga nasa RHU na mga pharmacists, nurses, and barangay health workers on pharmaceutical management, pharmacovigilance, or yung reporting of the adverse drug reactions, and patient counseling para sa public health medicines. Next, we have the provincial health offices. Next, we have the provincial health offices, yung primary public health management and operational body sa entire province, and they are under the provincial governor. So, following the devolution of health services to the local government units, yung Provincial Health Office is now the chief administrator of the province-wide health system, and they are responsible for managing all devolved health services within their jurisdiction. So, what are the primary roles or functions of the Provincial Health Office? Number one, system management and integration. So, sila yung central coordinating body for the province-wide health system, ensuring the integration of all the devolved health facilities like the RHUs, yung district hospitals into a cohesive healthcare provider network that is under the Universal Healthcare Act. So para there is seamless referral system galing sa community papuntang provincial hospital. And then they also do hospital management. So the Provincial Health Office directly manages and operates the provincial and district hospitals para they can deliver uh, quality and efficient na services sa kanilang jurisdiction. Okay, and then we have technical supervision of municipal health. They provide supervision and technical assistance to the municipal or city health offices or yung mga RHUs, again, to ensure that they implement effectively the national public health programs at the grassroots level. So, programs like immunization, yung mga family planning, tuberculosis control, sinusupervise yan ng provincial health offices um, para efficient yung pag-implement ng mga nasa baba, like the RHUs. Now, resource allocation and financing. So, sila yung nagmamanage ng provincial budget for health. Okay? So, they pull resources galing sa PhilHealth and sa LGU para ma-improve yung finances, yung services, and commodity procurement across the network. And then health planning and monitoring. So, yung PHO, yung nagli-lead ng preparation ng local investment plan for health, and sila yung nagmo-monitor ng overall health status and performance of the province. So, sila yung nagli-lead dyan para ma-address yung mga major health concerns or outbreaks. So, ano naman yung role ngayon ng pharmacist within the PHO. So number one, they are the provincial pharmaceutical manager. Sila yung nag-oversee sa centralized procurement, warehousing, and distribution of medicines, vaccines, and health commodities sa lahat ng provincial and district hospitals and also the RHUs in the province. So, the goal is to achieve economies of scale and prevent na magkaroon ng mga out of stocks. Next, they do formulary and special health fund management. Yung mga pharmacists are involved sa pag-develop ng yung local formulary or the provincial essential medicines list. Okay? So, sila yung nagbibigay ng advice sa Provincial Health Board sa most effective or most cost-effective high-quality medicine na i-include and if-finance through the Special Health Fund para ma-maximize yung financial risk protection. Now, they ensure quality assurance and regulatory compliance. So, they do audits and inspections sa lahat ng pharmacy services sa mga provincial facilities. Okay? This is to ensure that these facilities adhere sa national standards like yung sa GDP, good dispensing practices, particularly concerning controlled drugs and cold chain management para sa ating mga vaccines. Next, we have RDU promotion or the Rational Drug Use Promotion. So, yung mga pharmacists dyan, leads into the establishment and monitoring of the rational drug use as well as yung kanilang major talaga na parang goal yung sa antimicrobial stewardship programs across the entire provincial network. So that includes lahat ng hospitals and RHUs para makombat yung antimicrobial resistance and ma-ensure yung appropriate treatment. Okay? And then we have the next one, Interlocal Health Zone or the ILHZ. Okay? So ano naman yung ano, role or function nitong interlocal health zones or yung mga district hospitals natin. Ano ito? Pag sinabing ILHZ, it's a district health system in the devolved Philippine setting. So, ano yung role nila? Integration and coordination. Yung main function talaga nila is to integrate all public health and yung mga hospitals, district hospital services within doon sa geographic area to ensure a seamless continuum of care and a functioning referral system. And then, joint planning and resource pooling. So, yung mga LGUs within the ILHZ or the interlocal health zones, they work hand in hand in planning, budgeting, and sharing of human resources. Okay, so para ma-achieve yung economies of scale sa medicine procurement, and ensures equitable distribution of resources. Okay? So governance naman, um, ano ito? Yung ILHZ board, meron ito sa mga ILHZ or mga zones na ito. They link the local decision-making bodies or yung mga municipal or provincial health boards to oversee integrated health policies and monitor performance within the zone. Okay? So ano naman yung roles ng mga pharmacist? So we have centralized procurement and inventory. So leading to or ano sila? Sila yung nagli-lead or nag-a-assist in the bulk centralized procurement of essential medicines para sa mga RHUs and district hospitals. And then formulary management. Again, our pharmacists are involved in developing the local formulary, para ma-standardize yung treatment protocols and stocking sa lahat ng facilities and ma-prevent yung stockouts of the common medicines. Okay? And then system standardization. So, involved yung mga pharmacist in developing guidelines para sa dispensing, sa pag-inventory, or yung sa vaccines cold chain maintenance, and drug information services sa lahat ng member RHUs and district hospitals. Okay? So, next. Ano nangyari dito? Ay, wala na. Okay, we have rural health units or the RHUs and the city health centers. Okay, so ito naman yung nakikita natin yung mga city health center sa mga urbanized area. So sila yung main service delivery facility for primary health care sa municipal or sa city level. So pag sinabing RHU, they are fully managed and funded by their respective city or municipal government. Okay? They are the backbones of the public health system. Again, they are the community's primary point of contact sa organized healthcare. So, ano ba yung ating mga functions? We have primary health care providers. So, they deliver comprehensive basic health services, including outpatient medical consultations. Thus, meron tayong mga doctors dyan, maternal and child health, family planning, dental care, and nutrition services. So, sila yung nagmamanage ng mga common diseases at the community level. And then, we have public health program implementation. So, sila yung nagsiserve as the focal point for devolved national public health programs like yung mga expanded program on immunization, TB dots, yung mga STI control, and environmental sanitation. Next, community outreach and surveillance. So, they coordinate the activities of the barangay health stations and the barangay health workers. Okay, para magkaroon ng disease surveillance at the grassroots level and ma-monitor yung possible outbreaks, and they are also managing the local health data. Next, rural health units are our referral gatekeeper. So, again, they are gatekeeper to the secondary and tertiary levels of care sa mga district and provincial hospitals. Okay? Sila yung nagbibigay ng essential package ng mga primary care services and nagre-refer ng mga patients with complex needs doon sa secondary and tertiary levels. Again, when I say secondary and tertiary levels of care, I'm talking about district and provincial hospitals. And then lastly, pharmaceutical dispensing. Okay? So, sila yung nagdi-dispense ng mga essential medicines para sa mga common diseases and mga public health programs. Okay? So, now let's move on to the roles or potential roles of the pharmacy. Now, please take note that traditionally, the rural health units, they are relying on nurses or midwives para ma-dispense itong mga medicines na ito. Okay? Pero, syempre, kailangan talaga ng presence of a dedicated pharmacist. Okay? As encouraged by the Universal Healthcare Act. Okay? And dapat kasi ma-improve yung LGU financing para again, there is the presence of the pharmacist in the rural health unit. So, ano yung mga roles ng mga pharmacist? RHU Pharmacy Management. Okay? So, pag sinabing pharmacist in the RHU, they are solely responsible for managing the entire medicine supply chain within the RHU. So that includes the procurement, inventory control, proper storage and dispensing of these medicines. Okay, so they ensure continuous supply of essential medicines for the community. Next are RDU or the Rational Drug Use and Patient Safety. So, ang mga pharmacists in the RHU are providing professional counseling and drug information sa mga patients, especially those who are receiving medications for their chronic diseases like yung mga um, humihingi ng maintenance for hypertension or diabetes. Or yung mga patients who are receiving medicine for public health programs like yung sa TB dots. So they verify prescriptions and yung mga usual na activity ng pharmacist na dapat talagang ginagawa like detecting potential drug interactions or contraindications to improve patient safety and adherence. And then we have health promotion and education. So, hindi lang nagpo-provide ng counseling and drug information, nagkakandak talaga ng patient education sessions. And pharmacists in the RHU are actively participating in community health campaigns on the proper use, storage, and disposal of medicines. And they give education about dangers of self-medication and drug misuse. And then lastly, we have clinical collaboration. So pharmacist in the RHU works closely with the municipal health officer and yung mga nurses to ensure that the local formulary is appropriate and nakaka-contribute talaga to the rational use of medicine or especially antibiotics. Okay? And then we have the barangay health station. So they are the smallest and the most basic service delivery unit sa Philippine health system. Uh, since sila yung smallest and most basic, they are expected to be the most accessible facility situated directly within the barangay. Okay, so they serve as the outreach post of the rural health unit. Ano ba yung function ng ating barangay health stations? Uh they give outreach and satellite services. Okay, kasi satellite clinic sila na RHU. So since satellite lang sila, they provide limited package only. Okay? Yung mga limited package of routine services focusing heavily on preventive care and monitoring. And then we have basic preventive and promotive care. So they deliver basic services like immunization para sa mga bata or women, sa mga buntis, prenatal and postnatal checkups, family planning services, or weight monitoring for children like sa Operation Timbang. And they give basic first aid also. Okay? And then, what else? We have grassroots health surveillance. So, sila yung key collection point natin for our local health data. Kasi they are the ones who do or facilitate community surveillance activities like nagtatrack ng birth, death, and potential disease outbreaks. They also do barangay health workers coordination. So sila yung coordination point ng mga barangay health workers, ng mga volunteer community health agents natin. So nag-ano sila, uh, they conduct house-to-house visits, health education, and case findings. And then we have basic dispensing, since ano lang sila, basic lang, no? So they can dispense very limited pre-packaged range of essential or low-risk medicines like mga vitamins, mga iron supplements, or mga basic cough and cold preparations lang under the supervision of the RHU staff. So these are the following roles or potential roles of pharmacists in the barangay health station. Syempre, we have supply chain support and quality control para ma-ensure lang na there is proper selection, packaging, and delivery of the limited essential medicine na makikita sa BHS. So they monitor also the proper storage conditions of these medicines, including the vaccines in the barangay health stations. Next, training and capacity building. Pharmacists in the BHS gives training sessions sa mga barangay health workers and mga staff on the correct way to handle or store or distribute basic health commodities. Okay, so they do counseling. And then we have basic medicine stewardship. So we have, sa mga BHS staff, they provide guidelines on proper way para mag-counsel ng patient on the use of supplements or yung mga OTC medicines that are distributed by the BHS. And then monitoring program adherence. So they do audits on the barangay health stations records to ensure that they comply with the national health programs, particularly regarding proper issuance and monitoring of vitamins and supplements sa mga bata and matatanda. Okay? Yan. So number 5, discuss the primary roles or functions of the following healthcare personal workers on the implementation of health programs and services in your community. So number 1, we have municipal or city health officer. We have CHO if it's city health officer and MHO if it's municipal. Okay, they are the chief executive officer of the municipality or the health office. We have here the following primary roles: administration and leadership. Syempre, they are taking charge of the entire local health office. So they supervise personnel, they ensure efficient operation of all the health services. They are involved also in policy making and planning. So they are again involved in formulating the annual health plan of the city or the municipality to implement national health programs. Next, they give advisory and enforcement. So they advise the mayor or even the local council on all health matters. Sila yung nag-execute and nag-enforce ng public health laws and ordinances, including yung sa Sanitation Code of the Philippines. And then we have clinical and medical legal. They serve as clinician para sa mga RHU. Okay, so sila yung nagbibigay ng consultations and checkups if required. Okay, for the municipality. And then frontline disaster response. Sila yung nagli-lead sa health services delivery during and after man-made or even natural disasters and calamities. So isa lang yan sila. Usually, itong nilagay ko dito na number, this is for General Santos City. Okay? So, isang city health officer. So, we have rural health nurse. Or rural health nurse ba? Hindi pala rural health nurse. We have rural health physician or doctor to the barrio. Siyempre, as doctors, they give clinical service delivery, mga direct medical consultations, diagnosis. They provide basic curative treatment para sa mga patient. Okay? Sila yung manager sa mga non-complicated cases of chronic diseases and acute illness. So we have system leadership and management. Usually kasi they are the chief administrator of the municipal or the city health office. So involved sila sa ano, leadership na mga roles. Okay? Public health program implementation. So they oversee and they lead the implementation of the national and local public health programs. Disease surveillance and outbreak management. They conduct investigations to confirm whether there is an outbreak or para malocate or ma-determine ano yung source of infection, ganun. So, research. And then we have referral and coordination. So, gatekeepers sila of two higher levels of care. So, they decide whether the patient needs referral to be admitted to the district or the provincial hospital. And they ensure smooth coordination with the healthcare provider network. Usually, we have one for this. And then, what else? Public health pharmacist. Okay? So, kagaya pa rin ng mga pharmacist na pag na na-discuss ko na kanina, usually supply chain and logistics sa pag-procure, sa inventory, storage, and distribution of essential medicines, vaccines, and other health commodities para sa mga public health programs. Para hindi lang talaga mag-zero stockouts, especially sa mga life-saving drugs. And then, syempre, rational drug use and safety, especially yung sa AMPS, antimicrobial stewardship natin. And then medication management and services like giving counseling on chronic disease management and the safe use of medication. Health promotion and prevention. So usually pharmacists participate in community health screening and even now vaccination program. So still education on proper use of drug abuse, yung mga healthy lifestyles na mga education, etc. Okay, policy and formulary development, they contribute expertise to the local health board para ma-develop yung local formulary. Okay? So, sa CHO, sa City Health Office, usually one and per RHU, dapat merong isa. Okay, dapat ha, pero nakadepende pa rin. Okay. The actual number of deployed public health pharmacists in the ano RHU may be lower than the ideal because of budget limitations kasi nga there is devolution, 'di ba? So this is under the local government unit already. Okay? And then we have the public health nurse. Okay? So, ano bang role ng public health nurse? Excuse me. We have here maternal and child uh, health. Mm. We have family planning. Usually, they are the direct implementers of these programs. Immunization program. They do community supervision and training about these different health programs. They give health education, and usually they are in the community, so they do outreach. So ideally, one per 5,000 population. So for Johnson, it is estimated, sorry, one per 10,000 pala, sorry. That is for the public health nurse. So they give direct patient care. So that's one per 10,000 population. So ideally for Janssen, that should be around 70 nurses that will provide health education in the community and mga direct nursing care. Then we have midwives also in the community. So, baliktad pala yun. They provide the maternal and child health, family planning, and even the immunization program. So just like the nurses, they uh provide training and health education also. So ideally, yung mga rural health midwives natin, that is one per 5,000 population. So for Jensen with 600,000 plus na population, it is estimated to have 140 midwives. But then again, the actual number of deployed midwives are dependent on the budget or depende sa local government unit. Okay? And then we have dentist or rural health dentist. Siyempre, they provide preventive dental health, yung mga basic curative services. They even oversee yung mga programs sa schools. And then they do referral and coordination for complex na ng mga dental cases. And they are advocates for good oral hygiene sa community. So, they provide education also. So, ideally, dapat sa isang lugar, merong isang dentist per 30,000 to 50,000 population. So, for Jensen, it is expected to have 14 to 23 dentists. Dapat ha, dapat. Okay? And then, City Municipal Nutrition Action Officer. They do program planning and management for the local nutrition action plan. So, sila yung nag-oversee diyan. Their activity covers maternal and child nutrition, yung micronutrient supplementation. They do coordination and advocacies para lang talaga for the nutrition of the community. They do monitoring and surveillance also sa different programs like Operation Timbang. Nagkakandak sila ng annual weight and height measurement ng mga bata to ensure na tama yung nutritional status ng mga bata sa community. Okay? So, they give education also. So, capacity building, they give training and supervision sa mga frontline workers, especially the barangay nutrition scholars that who are the implementers of the nutrition program. Okay? And then they do resource mobilization. So, they assist in securing and allocating funds para sa nutrition ng community. So, ideally, dapat may isang barangay, merong isang City Nutrition Action Officer and per barangay, dapat may isang BNS or Barangay Nutrition Scholar. Okay? So, barangay health workers. Ito yung nasa community talaga. Sila yung frontline. They are volunteers and pinakamaraming health workforce sa community level. So they are actually non-professional workers formally chosen by the community and accredited by the local health board to render the primary healthcare services. So they do outreach and health promotion. Sila yung taga-house-to-house visit para mag-disseminate ng information, depende kung ano ang needs na community. So, sila yung mga health advocates natin sa community. They are the motivators. So, they do referrals, like findings and referrals. Sila yung nag-identify ng mayroong problema sa community, health problems sa community. And sila yung nagre-refer kung kailangan ba ng professional care or help. Okay? So since nasa community sila, they gather data and they do surveillance. Data about health, ha? Okay, so sila yung nagre-report ng issues para ma-identify baka magkaroon bigla ng outbreaks. And they give support for public health programs in the community. So ideally, there should be one barangay health worker per 20 households. So for Jensen City, given our population, it is actually expected to have 7,000 to 8,750 barangay health workers. Ideally, ha? Okay? And then, this is the last. Barangay nutrition scholars. Okay. So, for the Barangay Nutrition Scholars, mga trained community volunteers ito. They are our primary implementer and coordinator of the Philippine Plan of Action for Nutrition. So, just like the barangay health workers, nasa community sila. And this time, this is for nutrition. This is, they are critical for fighting malnutrition in the community. That is why they do surveillance, nutritional surveillance. Sila yung mukha ng timbang, height of the children, yung mga problem with the nutritional status. So they do outreach and case management. So sila yung nag-house to house visit and nag-identify if may malnourished ba na bata sa household. And so they provide education also to combat that. They are program implementors. Kung ano mang program ang meron, sila yung tag-implement yan at the grassroots level. They do coordination and linkages with the midwife or the nurse kung merong need yung family. And then they do data reporting for the nutritional status as well as the status of the program implementation. So ideally, there should be one barangay nutrition scholar per barangay. Okay? So ito lastly, spell out the different acronyms commonly used in community health. So be familiar ha, kasi medyo marami ito. Be familiar. Okay, like pag sinabing PHIC, we are talking about PhilHealth, the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation. Hindi ko na ito isa-isahin. Have to be familiar. Pag sinabing CHO, that's the City Health Office or the City Health Officer to be specific. ILHZ is the Interlocal Health Zone. Okay, what else? MHO is the Municipal Health Officer or the office itself. And then UHC again is the Universal Health Care. Okay, that's it for activity number 5.